Hello folks, I'm Ed Overstreet and welcome to the Night Sky Imaging YouTube channel. Um, I'm outside imaging the sun. Well, as you can see, I'm inside, but I'm Wi-Fi connected to outside and I'm imaging the sun. And so let me show you what's going on with the sun today and the time lapse that I've already started. But I've paused the time lapse to kind of give you a look at the sun from Spartanburg, South Carolina, my backyard. Okay, there we go. Um, currently, there we go. Currently, we've got feedback. Yeah, that should have fixed that. Oh, wait, something. I think. All right, let's see. I don't want to wear those earphones, but I'm getting feedback, so golly, I don't know what this is going to sound like. And I got the, this is a mess. Da, 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 da. All right, first, let's zoom out and I'll give you a tour of the sun using this camera. And let's move the sun. Well, first of all, let's go around the sun. I can't figure out what I'm going to do here. Hang on. Without overexposing and showing the rim, let me speed up here 2 times sidereal. By the way, I brought the AVX mount in, which I usually use, and I put this on a Skywatcher HEQ6 mount. Wrong way. And this is the feature that I'm imaging, or I have been imaging. Look at the size of this filament, reaching, probably, I don't know, when you consider that you could put an Earth-sized planet inside of these little sunspots over here. Wow, that's something. Wrong way. Now, this is a feature that might be worth imaging. I may do that this afternoon. I want to see what's on the rim. I'll look there in a minute. Also, here's a nice sunspot. Just disregard this overexposed side over here. We are way overexposed, so let's get it down a little bit. Not that much. And let's see where we are. We're still overexposed. It's better. Let's bring it out to here. I'm just going to have to overexpose it to show you the rim. Okay. Not the rim, but the wrong way. Not much going on. This is where I've been imaging, and I'll show you why. Let's see. Let's move. Wrong way. Let's move east just a tad bit. And that's about where those crosshairs and this sunspot is my reference point. So I'm going to let me come back just a little bit, and I'll show you why I'm imaging there. As soon as I get a little bit overexposed, I've got some rim flaring going on, and that's the reason why I picked both this region here that I've overexposed, which I hope has some action, and then I hope that we have some surface action here with these flares over a 3-hour period. So this is why I'm imaging here, but since I've overexposed, I'm going to continue to go around to that other side where I saw that sunspot, and let's head over there and see if there's any flaring going on. There's a little flare there. Little, hey, yeah, there's something there. Okay, let's, oh, we have to go south now. Okay, let's bring this back to about 10. Well, this would be a good spot too because this filament's already moved some. From the last time I was here, just a few minutes ago. This filament is not as pronounced. It almost looks like two filaments now. And if memory serves me, I thought it looked like one continuous filament. But there's already some movement here. But I could put this as a reference point, and there's some action on. I wonder. I don't know. Let's continue to see what else is on there. Well, ooh. Let's bring that down a little bit and see if it. All right, let's go down a whole lot and see what kind of. Well, that's another possibility because I've got this sunspot here. Yeah. Decisions. I already started doing a. I already started doing a time lapse on the other side. Right down here. Okay, let's go outside and see what the Solar Scout's looking like. Let's see, we're at 10-120 here. All right. Bring up the Solar Scout. And let's bring this down to. And let's move sun up some. My wife. Okay, let's overexpose this. A little more. A little more. There you go. The rim flaring's just not as active as it has been, and the reason for that is because I've got clear skies. If I had clouds, like I usually have, then this would be really active. I can't complain. I do have clear skies, and even tonight. So here's what I got. A decision to make as to where I'm going to hang on just a minute. Do to Do I want to do a time lapse on the full disc? Decision. Or do I want to do a time lapse and go back and finish up? I've already taken 40 images, and I'm going to have to, if I'm going to do it, I need to get back because it's been a big delay since the last time I took one. Decisions. I think I'm going to choose to go back to I'm going to go back and do the pick up where I left off. So, not too far away. I want to move east, I believe. No, I don't. I want to move west. And south. Nope. North. And west. And south. North. Now we got to go east. And it's sweet. All right, we're getting close. So now I want to choose about 150%. Let's bring this down. And let's go find my crosshairs. And let's see, we got to get our exposure. Let's go back up to 11. I think I was. And let's drop this back down again. See what our histogram looks fine. Now we got to move our and we're going to change so we're going to go east. Oh, we got to change the speed to 1. It's 1 time sidereal. We're moving too fast. And up. Okay, let's start this. And I was at 269. I want 300, and let's go. So I'm going to try to keep it centered in this area right here throughout the time-lapse sequence, and I'll use IMPPG to stack the images, hopefully with a minimum crop. And so let's move east. East some more. We got really wanting to drift west. This mount is polar aligned within 1/2 of an arc second. No, that's the other mount, within 2/10 of an arc second. So it's polar aligned. I'm not going to have too much drift in deck and in deck in north and south, but east and west is a nightmare. I could turn on the guiding for Shark Cap and see how it's doing. Terrible news in the Overstreet family. Our coffee pot broke. We started smelling something like it was burning. And it was. The insides were on burning up. So the heating element died. And I forget what brand it is, but we paid a fortune for it. For us. $150 for a coffee maker. We've never had one break. We've had them just replaced them for cosmetic reasons, I think, for the most part. I don't know why. That's my wife's. That's her job. I hope everybody's got a good weather forecast for your area, and some at least not any of this ridiculous thunderstorm activity stuff that comes from nowhere. If you're joining, I'm imaging the sun, obviously. Excuse me. And I'm taking a time lapse of this sunspot, but really I'm imaging the rim. I've zoomed in 150% so you can't see what else is going on, but there's some flaring on the rim, not a lot of flaring. And 13 seconds between. Set this up to do 300 video files. Each video file will have 700 frames, and I'm taking them every 30 seconds. And so between now and 1:30, I won't have 300. I don't have enough time. I'll probably go to 1 o'clock, which is 30 minutes past the meridian, but the mount that I'm using, the HEQ6 Skywatcher, has a very short counterweight shaft, and so and the telescopes are small, short, so I run no risk of running into, and they're on piers, so I have no risk of running into, I shouldn't say that. Watch me crash this whole thing. Uh, I should be able to go an hour past the meridian. But I'm going to go ahead and flip them out. I'm going to start back this afternoon, and I'm going to image from probably now 1 o'clock to the sun until 5. So I'll get 4 hours in. I may even go to 6. There's a transit of one of the Chinese satellites. I forget which one it is. Around between 5 and 6, I'll have to look. And I may hang around and try to catch that. I better get my headphones on before I realize I don't have any sound. Uh-oh. Okay, let's see. Let's turn things down. Test, 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 test. Okay. Uh-oh. That's not welcomed. Let me go see what's going on outside. Wrong icon. This may not be an all-day time lapse. I'm turning on my outside camera. Okay, this is the one that's imaging. Let's bring up. I don't see clouds. Let's go over. Oh, there they are. And there's the sun. Okay. I'll just wait those out because I don't see. There's a few other clouds forming there. Oh well. Let me. Okay, this is what I'm imaging with right now. So it looks like the sun's back out. So let's go back. Yep. However, we've moved off our reference. So let's go back and center on this sunspot. And let's start our time lapse back up. And we're at 260 left. I got to turn off the outside. Somebody's cutting their grass. All right. Let's see. I get to go east. And So I have 53 so far. I don't need these. Oh, we're in a capture. Let's stop this capture. Let's cancel. Let's go out here and delete this and that. Probably this one too. So we had drifted a lot. And let's go back and see if we can't. Okay, we're going to do start capture to just say 50 and let's start. seeing conditions have just kind of got messed up. They were really good earlier. Hey, Fred. Oh, you're rock and rolling out in Arizona. Awesome. I just had a cloud come and mess me up a while ago. I hope that was just the only one I'm going to see today. Yeah, I imaged yesterday too, and it was better. Sure was. I've been muting myself because my wife is in the other room talking to her best friend, and they're having a party on the phone. What are you imaging with, Fred? I was muting it because my wife is in the other room having a party with on the phone. But this was a time lapse I did yesterday, and I've sort of zoomed in to. I'll zoom in a little more because the only real action was on the only real action was on the rim, and there wasn't a lot. But this was about a 2.5 hour run, and it's not. I haven't put this up on anything because it really didn't turn out all that good. But this was from yesterday, and then I was hoping that there would be some nice action down here, but there wasn't. So over the 2 hour period, there's very little significant plasma movement. You can see some, but you've really got to zoom in to see it. And I've been all over about the only thing worth the afternoon of doing this was this. So I'm hoping today's going to be better. And I've drifted, so let me come back to my spot. And start back up. We're at 240, so let's go. The audio's back, isn't it? Yeah, it shows it's back. Cool. Have you processed it yet? Uh-oh. Right in the middle of a capture. Let's see. I'll tell you something that I started doing. Actually, I started it this week. Is I'm bringing all the images into Lightroom, and I'm blinking through those images. Well, at first I process and auto stacker it. Then I bring the TIFF files into Lightroom, and I blink through those. I would use PixInsight, but PixInsight can't blink them until they're first aligned. So that's a bummer. But I can go into Lightroom, and that works because Lightroom doesn't care if they're aligned or not, and I can go ahead and get rid of the obvious rejects, and then I sharpen those. In fact, I was doing a little adding clarity to all of the images and a little sharpening in Lightroom. Then I brought those into IMPPG and ran deconvolution, and back into PixInsight for color, cropping, and some more sharpening, and then back into IMPPG for the first alignment, then back into PixInsight for linear fit to match the exposures, and then back into I think I did a final alignment, in INPPG. I usually run the alignment process twice to kind of refine the flickering that's going on. But I really have to babysit this mount more than I did the AVX. And the AVX wasn't polar aligned, but it seemed to stay on the mark much better. I was kind of surprised. I've used this before, and I don't recall having to manipulate and move the mount so much. Yesterday was nice and clear, and the scene's gotten better now, but the wind was awful. Got one of those summer sinus allergy coughs. What I try to do, mine overheat too because it's hot outside here too. It was in the low 90s yesterday. But what I try to do is cover them with kind of a tent to keep the sun directly off of them. Let me stop this capture and pause this, and I'll show you. But I have a clamp, and I have two towels, one on the back side that you can't see, and then one over the front side. And I have two laptops, one connected to this 8-inch Smith Cassegrain, and then of course this is the solar kit. But this helps, and so far in all of the solar imaging that I've done, the laptops seem to help work. So close that out. And let's just call it 235.
Are you caping?
I'm hoping this region that I'm also imaging has some action, but who knows? You never know until you finish and start processing. Some of the flaring that is going on right now in this sunspot looks like to me that it's directly aimed at us. Gotcha. I usually don't start until about 9 or 9:30. Uh, my equipment is in my backyard up on a hill, so I can see over the roof of my house. So I don't have anything in the way. I don't have many trees either to deal with. I've got a good backyard. We downsized a few years ago, and the only requirement that I had, because of my wife's health, we needed a one-story home, and we moved from a two-story home and to a one-story home with half the square footage. But I've got a backyard perfect for what I do and what I love to do the most, daytime and nighttime. And being retired, anytime there's clear skies, I'm either working in the yard or imaging. Excuse me. I think this wind is acting up now. I wanted to show you this on Facebook. Let me go to my page and ask you if you ever follow this lady. Come on. Well, I don't know what's wrong with Facebook. There we go. Okay. Um, have you ever watched this lady? She's on YouTube, Doctor, and I can't pronounce her name, but she does space weather, and it's Dr. Tamitha Scout, Skov. Uh, but she does an awesome job of explaining what's going on. So, anyway, let me go back out to see where I am. Start this back up. 226. I try to image uh, day and night. It just depends on the weather. And the summertime is terrible in South Carolina. Not only does it get hot, but we have pop up thunderstorms, and they come from nowhere. You're you have some pretty good skies, then next thing you know, clouds gather, and it's a bummer. Yeah, I enjoy watching her explanation of what's going on. It's the last thing that I am is a solar expert. Same thing with astronomy. I'm just a photographer, retired, that took up astroimaging, and I know a lot more now than I did when I started in 2009, but uh, you pick it up eventually. But know I didn't know that the planets were seasonal. I thought they were in the same place all the time. I just really never paid much attention. But like most of us, as a kid, I was always fascinated by the Milky Way and all the possibilities of the universe where your imagination could take you. Well, I'm fighting east west. Nutso. There's not much to see where most people live because of light pollution. I wish that our government, federal government, would promote one day, one night where lights were turned off. Unfortunately, everybody would be robbed, but probably would have a criminal feast. But if that could happen and everybody had a chance to see the night sky, um, I don't know, it might make a difference. All it takes is for our local governments to pass ordinances to make sure there are hoods on lights to keep them from reflecting up. That would do a lot of good. But we're growing and growing and growing. Yeah, I can barely see it either. Fortunately, we have places to drive that are, 30 miles from here, 40 miles from here, where we get decent skies. But I don't travel anymore. My eyes are not uh, that good. And I'm dealing with macular degeneration and all that goes with just getting old. I'm in the early stages. Ooh, there's some clouds going by. Yep. My wife is doing so much better. Uh, she started taking yoga a year ago, and I would have never thought, I don't know anything about it, but I would never thought that it would make a difference. But she is so much better. Uh, Her arthritis, her pain that she had, it's crazy. She's doing so good. And my daughter uh, is a secondary school teacher, but she also teaches yoga. And so she got my wife involved in it, and it's been a night and day difference for her. Her orthopedic physician had advised her to do something like yoga years ago, but my wife really just dismissed it. First, thinking that she physically wouldn't be able to do it, and then she had kind of this misunderstanding, as did I, of really what the people doing yoga are out to accomplish. So, but she loves it. I'm tickled to death for her. She's in the backyard now, uh, working in her flowers. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. This is at 2:15. Well, I can salvage that one. I'm going to go look at the sky and see what's going on. Let's stop this at 2:15. There's the, okay. Uh-huh. Well, let's bring up, here's my town, and yeah, I got clouds moving in. I'm right here. Yep. Oh lordy, I hope these don't hit our way. Oh, let's go back out to windy. Uh, so everything looks good. Oh, except for that racket. Uh, I don't know. I've not heard of a high node guide. Huh. I'll have to check into that. I don't think my my mounts have uh, a ton of backlash. That's the problem I'm running into, both RA and deck. So if adjustments are needed, it's just a crisis because the backlash is just ridiculously bad. I have two Atlas Pro EQ AZ mounts, um, and an AVX mount and an Optron mount. And the Optron is by far the best guiding mount I own. It's behind me here. Uh, I don't have it equipped to, or I don't. It's not adapted to the pier, so it's on a tripod. I drag that out in the front and use that for visual uh, fun with the neighbors on occasion. I'll have to look into that high node guide. Have you tried using SharkCap's guide feature? If you're using SharkCap, yes, our scene conditions are not good now. I have about 30 minutes until, so do you, until we flip. Um, Let me see how many images I've taken. I want to go to, not enough, 145. Uh, 100. Yeah. Gotcha. Gotcha. Well, I do have the full sun on the Solar Scout. That's right. We're on different time, aren't we? I'm going to probably, well, the clouds may change what I plan to do, but I would like to get another 40 images. So I can do that in an hour if I pay attention. So that means I would stop at around 1 o'clock. Yeah, I have a 45 and a ZEQ 25. That little 25 is a great travel scope, and it does an awesome job of guiding. They discontinued making it. How hot is it? Uh, it says 101 out at the camera here in Spartanburg, but the sun's beating down on it. So, but that's how hot the gear is. So, are you hotter than 101 degrees? You may be. Yeah, wow. That is, that's cooking. Now, what we do have that you do not have is humidity. And our air is wet. You feel sticky. Okay. Yeah. I have noticed that this region has changed a good bit since I started this time lapse. Some of the bright areas aren't bright anymore, and some of the areas that weren't bright are. This is new. We had I had one down here that was real bright flare, but these two flares are getting brighter. Yep. Oh, 8%. Uh, that's crazy. I love it. I can't imagine 8% humidity. Let me see what ours is. Just curious. Humidity. Where's my kit? Okay. Well, it's 38%. So, but if our temperature dropped to not to 71, we would have dew on everything, and that's what happens at night. Our gear gets drenched. But during the July, I bring everything inside. My my kits stay outside all year long. Uncover. I mean, they have telegizmo covers, but I don't have a roof. I put up a patio umbrella that covers them, but they stay up year round. And I bring them in July and take them apart, clean them, re-grease them, and paint the piers, paint the platform, clean everything up. Then I put them back on late July. So, and there's no point in trying to image in July because it's so hot at night and daytime, and thunderstorms are just 10 minutes away from happening. And it's too risky. You can't go to sleep at night imaging and feel comfortable because you may wake up to the sound of thunder, and that isn't good. I doubt it. I tuned my Quark on. I put it right in the middle, and Jen from Daystar advised me just to leave it there, which is what I've done. I've not even tried any other place, but in order to get contrast, I'll show you. If I reset this histogram, uh, then my Quark probably will look like your Quark. So there you go. There's my histogram reset. So what I do is I drag this vertical bar, I drag this in, and I go find the highlight bar and I brighten it up a little bit to get some contrast so I can adjust sharpening, and so I can get more contrast. So it's not the Quark so much, I don't think, as it is the hypertune. I mean the hypertune, the histogram. Just play around with your histogram, the midtone vertical bar and the highlight. It doesn't do much good to drag the darks up too much. Maybe a little bit, but actually it did some good. Too much. A little bit. But keep an eye on your histogram so that you don't inadvertently overexpose, which I've done that. The image looks okay, but I've overexposed it sometimes. I can't talk. No, I haven't tried auto exposure. As a rule, stop this one, cancel, and delete this one. Fell asleep on the job. Okay, let's get back out. And let's go west. Wait a minute. Frustrating. All right. This is, I don't know what I do. Just start with something. Gosh, it's jumping around now. No. As soon as I process my videos into TIFFs, I delete them. I take so many solar images, I couldn't keep all the video files. I fill up a 14 terabyte drive that I use for solar in a year as it is. Well, the conditions are really deteriorating outside. Between the wind and seeing conditions, yeah, it's easy to fill them up. What I do for my solar, I have one a hard drive for solar, and then I have a hard drive for deep space. And what I do is I'll let me go to a blank page and bring up. This is Solar 4, Solar 5. These are 14 terabyte drives. I have a Solar 3, Solar 2, Solar 1. I mean, not Solar, Astro 5, Astro 4, and Astro 2 1. And those are all either 10 or 14 terabyte drive. The last three are 14. And so this is the most recent. And I put my process icons in here. If I pick up a tutorial from someone, I put those, like Comet processing ideas, I put those in that. But these are my folders that I use for kind of organizing my images. This is what I took in January of this year and February. I do put some solar over here, but it's just the finished images. I may want to put those up on Astrobin or something. And then I have, of course, I'm in the month of June, and this is what I've I keep my darks and my flats that I take in the month I took them. And then, of course, July, I've got nothing. And if I go back to Astro 4, it looks the same, except it's got everything I took in 2022. I have the other drives unplugged. I just don't have room for them. USB slots available for them. I better get back to business here. I've drifted some. And then I do the same thing for the solar drive, which right now is disconnected. And then out where the telescopes are, I use a scan disk 2 terabyte drive to hard drive, and it's attached, it's connected to the ultimate power box, and so it's on the telescope, and it holds these images. Then I just bring that in and copy them to the hard drive, and I process them from the hard drive. Boy, you can fill up a terabyte of hard drive space pretty quick when you're taking, say, 1,000 frame AVI files or SCR files. And then when I'm doing planetary imaging, I may take 15,000 frame video files. That's not uncommon at all. Yeah, filing up until about 2016 or 17, my images were saved on my desktop, on different hard drives. They were scattered everywhere, and I couldn't find something. If I couldn't find it, then it was lost. It would show up at a time when I was looking for something else, but I needed a system. So it's part of the investment that I realized I was going to have to make. Besides equipment, I need also to have software and storage. It's just as important. I will be right back. My goodness, it didn't drift. Let's see what time the sun transits. We want to. Here we go. Yeah. We have. Oh, it's not ready to transit. Yeah. It's at 1:30. Oh, okay. So I've got a full hour left. Oh, good. I was thinking it was at 12:30. Yay. Well, I may get. Yeah. Yes, I'm polar aligned. I am 0.2 of an arc second off. That's after running a 10-minute guiding assistant. That's the most accurate way to see just how good or bad polar alignment is. That's one of the advantages of having a permanent peer telescope mount set up. You just don't have to fret with it. The only corrections I've had to make today is west and east, so which is declination. My north and south I haven't touched those. If I didn't have this backlash issue, um, if I wouldn't be making any adjustments. Yeah, I had for my Optron, I had a peer extension, but it fit on the tripod. It wasn't a full pier. It was about a foot, but it gave you a little play so that you're less likely to bang your telescope into your tripod leg. It took that out of the mix. No, I can't. I'm I'm about at the point in my life where it's really hard to justify uh, a big expense for anything that's not absolutely necessary. Um, when it comes to astronomy, nothing is absolutely necessary when you're 79 years old. So it becomes a cost benefit decision, and The older you get, you calculate the number of clear sky nights that you have in a year, and it becomes probably one of the more expensive hobbies. But in reality, for a young person that's got a setup in their backyard, once you get the initial investment in a mount and get you a wide field and a narrow field optic, probably a solar kit, and you're done. Cameras, filters. Well, I guess you're not done. And then one of the worst things that you can do is go on these forums, because someone will start raving about a new camera or a new filter, and then you think, I gotta have that one. So cost benefit. I do run 2 telescopes each time that I image at night. And I usually, almost always, image 2 different targets. I take advantage of the few clear skies nights that I have. Oop. East. You'd think I'd have that down by now. Yeah, I agree with you on that. I bought some stuff not knowing what I was doing, and yep, I did. Now, these flares have been changing. I had a real bright one here, and down here, and they're fading out. This one's sort of kind of holding its own. So the whole region has taken on a new look. I'm going to pause this, and I'm going to work on focus here a minute. I don't think the telescope could get any hotter, so I don't know why. Well, that helped. Boy, did that ever. Okay. Wow. That was a big improvement. No, you were right. I was getting out of focus. I just saw your message, and I was thinking the same thing. I just saw what you wrote. Yep. It's a little better. I think I'm making my first corrections in declination. Oh, webcam. Uh, let me see. Webcam. Which one am I using? Let me bring that up. No, it looks okay here. It's just I'm not much to look at. Let's. I got several cameras. Let's change to. Mic's in the way. And I gotta move me, which but my actual sun focus was crazy off, and I don't know how long it was that way. I don't know if that's any better. Now we've got a new flare right here. This one has died out. This one's died. This one's died. Got a new one coming up here. Got one coming up here. There went a bird. Now scene has gotten terrible. In and out of focus, and are you still imaging, Fred? That did help. Good. We got two new spots too, here and here. Are you at the bottom left? I'm at the top right. Let's check. I have 150 now. I don't know how many. I'm at the top right too. We're in the same place. You'll get most of them in. Because we got a. You should get another 35 in between now and 1:30. My time. 10:30 your time. Now we got a new flare down here and down here and here. Also up here and here and here. This is gonna be some fun to process because I think we're onto something. I'll have to crop into it. But I think this is gonna be pretty decent. Yay. Yay, yay. What gain and exposure setting are you using? On the ASI 432. Oop, there went a plane. Wow. My goodness. I'm at 130 gain and 10 seconds or maybe 11-second exposure or 11 millisecond exposure on the ASI 174. Wow. What's your frame rate? 150 frames a second? Yeah. This thing here is, yep. Are you talking about this swirl right here that's becoming much more pronounced, or right in here? Hmm. Gotcha. Over here. You're talking about over here? Or is it in my... Hmm. Oh, over here. And down here. Is it in this region that you're talking about? I'm looking at it. I don't. Oh, the scene just got really good. Up here? Is it in this region, or do I need to oh, okay, I got you. So I got you. Got you. Yeah, I figured you were. Uh, you're at about 240 millimeters focal length then, and yeah, you can get the full disc in with your kit, can't you? I'm not familiar with your camera, but I would think you could get the full disc in at 62 millimeter, because my Scout's 60 millimeters, and I can get the full disc in. Yeah, I would image with the Scout a lot more if I could remotely control the focuser, uh, like I can the Astrotech 65 EDQ. I'm going to pause this, and I'm going to switch telescopes um, after this next exposure right here, and I'll show you the Solar Scout. Uh, I have an ASI 1600 camera on it, and let's go to auto, and then I need to bring the exposure. The gain is at 0, and let's move this over. Let me speed this up a little bit. Whoa, look at that hot spot there. Yikes. It's cool. That is a hot spot. Is this what you were talking about? Because imaging here, this must be what you were talking about. Fell in the pool. Wow. Oh, I know those excuses. I'm going to, I got to image this. Let me change this to Scout. And let me get a quick capture of 500 frames. Wow. I got to go take flats for the Scout before I flip this. I'm going to take another one. This dust stuff. I have a Daystar flat cap that fits on the end of my telescope that does a good job of taking flats. I use that for the Scout, and then for the Astrotech, I just defocus. That works good too. Let's take another one. Then you have to be real careful not to click on this area, or it will move your crosshairs, which will mess up lining everything up for your other telescope's time lapse. Okay, let's switch back to 174 and let's bring our exposure down. Wow, that is a hot area. And let's see, we want to move wrong way. Let's move. And wrong way. There we go. All right, we want to go up. We'll get it close. Then let's bring the exposure up. Let's see where we are. That's good. Let me go back to 150%. And pick up where we left off. And need to move east. Oh, change this back to 1 times sidereal. And we're going to need to move north. Nope. Go south. And east. And south. And east. Okay, let's change this back to and hopefully we'll just take as many as we can take in the next 30 minutes. Ooh, scene's awful. Those frames. Ooh, that's terrible. Wow. None of these are going to work. Ah. A little better. Yeah, that's been a request that I've made, that they give us the option to anchor the crosshairs. As far as many clouds that I have out, I'm really surprised I haven't had more of a problem. Yep. Yep. Well, it's you just have to be real quick. If you move it off, if you move your crosshairs like that, you just got to get it back there real quick, right where you were. So it's just paying attention. And you don't have to be exact. I found out that the auto stackered and IMPPG align does a really good job of aligning them, but it may cost you some cropping and you may lose some real estate you didn't want to lose, but the software really does a good job. Very good. I just sent you a, I just made a comment. Like to see your video, how well your camera does. Good night. Look at the scene. These last 20 or 30, I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea how they're going to turn out. We'll find out. You mean this Wondershare Fillmore 12? Are you talking about this software? I'm opening it up. Yeah, the sun is more than anything else. It's wow. I use Wondershare Fillmore for video work. So yep, I really like their software. I used to use Final Cut Pro, and then I switched to Premiere, Photoshop's Premiere Pro, and I still have that in the subscription, but Wondershare's so fast to process and edit, simple edits, and it's got a lot of neat stuff that you can use for special effects. Oh, wrong way, wrong way. Okay. Huh. Wrong way the other way. This region has really quieted down since when we start. It's bright, getting brighter here, and then down here, but this is really sort of simmered down some. Okay. Do you have Lightroom? If you have, there goes the clouds. or a cloud. Let's see how many I have. I may go ahead and take my flats and quit. Let's. I should have about 180. $182. Well, take another. Gotcha. Well, Lightroom and Photoshop have a subscription plan. It's $10 a month, and of course you get all the updates. It is so worth it, and you can do everything in Lightroom in batch mode. If you have Lightroom, IMPPG, and PIPP, you can do everything. Linear fit, curves, colorization, the whole thing. Yeah. Oops. I shouldn't be moving them out during a capture, but I should be able to keep about 150 of these. More clouds. I'm going to go ahead and stop. Let me get my full disk. Fill the frame. And I'm going to reset the histogram. And oh, come on, clouds. Drop it down. Okay, let's defocus about 1,000. And let's change the name here to flat. And let's wait the clouds out. And we'll just take a 200 frame. Well. PixInsight is a complicated software program. When you first approach it. But if I can do it, anybody can do it. And there are so many tutorials that help you get started in it. Uh, I put up a mess of them, but it's really just awesome software. We spend a lot of money on our hardware and we skimp on our software, and half of the whole astro imaging equation is processing. Captures one half and processing the other half, and you have to pretty much balance both of those. Okay. All right. I have knocked off several flat frames so I can get rid of all that dust, and I'll bring my focus back out. Too far. And all right. Well, guys, it's Fred. I'm going to sign off and probably check the skies out. And if it's cloudy, I'm going to cover up everything and call it a day. If you decide to keep Pix Insight, I will personally give you any help I can. We can do a Zoom call, and I can walk you through how you use how you develop a workflow and how you use those basic processes to do your processing. I'll be glad to help you. And until skies clear, and hopefully tonight, I plan to image live tonight the what is it? I imaged it last night. The Iris Nebula. Okay, and catch you guys later, and hope everybody, I mean, absolutely everybody has clear skies in their neck of the woods.